Yes, welcome everyone. Another video here from the Tokyo Real Estate Man. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about a lot of sort of stuff. Just a round conversation. We had a question the other day from I have to look here again. His name is Gob80, and he said in the comment it said, "Hey Trem, you mentioned 9.7 mon per month." Okay, yeah, 9.7. It says yeah, mon, yeah, mo Monday. It sounds like Monday, but I don't understand what this means. Can you explain? And then after that. I tried to explain it, and this is really we need in this video today. Today, I'm going to talk about lots of things, but we're going to talk about Japanese money. We're going to talk about so it's really important too, actually, when we're talking about Japanese money, about the consciousness of what are people's consciousness of what Japanese money is, and other things where I thought we could look at the gold price a little bit. We're going to look at some real estate as well in Minato Ward. And so this is going to be a little bit of this element is going to be gold versus real estate and some of my opinions on that. But also I thought we could look at in some, since we're talking about money, we could look at some Japanese interest rates. Okay, so let's cut to where should we go first? It doesn't really matter. Okay, now here I have, this is Japanese currency. This is what's known, this is, you can see it here. This says like 10, I don't know if it's in focus or not, but it says 10,000 yen. Okay. That's really the basis of, for the most part, understanding the 10,000 yen note in Japan is really understanding the monetary system. Okay. As like when you're here, see, I got a nice little stack there. Like when you're doing the American sort of paper, which I happen to think is a total scam. That's how I'm in real estate and stuff like that. But the 100 right here, and this is 5,000. So it's getting to be a little bit of money, not much anymore, but a little bit of money. That's the 100 is really the basis. Like in people's heads, like in the North American world, whether it's Canada, United States, when you're getting into the 100 right here, uh, that's kind of like the basis of the American sort of consciousness of money. And in the same way, this 10,000 yen note is really the kind of, that's where, like for example, my wallet, I probably have two of these right now. Okay, just in my wallet. So when I walk around, if everything, like if I needed to get back home or something like that, or I needed to do something, I'd have $200. I know that I could take a taxi from somewhere to get back to my apartment here in Shibuya. Now, this is 1,000 yen note. These are just like everyday. This is like change. Okay, this is just change. This is nothing. This is, although people still use a lot of money in Japan. So then I got lots of stacks here for you to know that. And I'm going to put my mic down here. Okay. So, oh yeah, before we do that though, I should say it to you. This, so the word in Japanese, okay, you go for counting to 1 to 10 is, or we can just go 1 to 3 even. Each, ni, san. That's 1, 2, 3, each. Okay. So this in Japanese is known as ichi man. So meaning ichi, and this is man. Okay, now the character, I should come over here. The character for mon, okay, you're going to see it. I'll look for a better sort of, here it is right here. Okay, this is, you see where it says 1,000 mon. Okay, so that's basically $100,000. Okay, now I'm going to put the mic down and I'm going to put the mic down here on my knees because I have to show you and count. Okay, so then I got like a pile of 10 right here. So this is ichi, ni, san, shi, go, roku, shichi, hachi, kyu, ju. So then it's ju is 10, right? Ju is 10. So this is called now $1,000 in the Japanese consciousness is juman, and that's the new one. That's called satsu. So ichiman in Nihongo de, that's called a satsu. So that's the new one, by the way. So that's ichiman, and then ichiman. But when you put them together, this is juman. Okay, this is Japanese consciousness for this. Okay, like this is still, it does really nothing here. In like you can go trade it in places in Shibuya, for example, but that's American. So in the Japanese sense of the word, okay, this is juman or $1,000. This is $100. if I'm going to transfer over consciousness, okay, and then right here, I'm not going to count this one, but here then, this is this is 50. So this is going to be, okay, go, ich, ni, san, shi, go, 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 ju. Ju is 10. Go, ju is 50. So this is go, juman. Now you're starting to get into some money. Now you can start to purchase some things. Okay, you can start to purchase some things. So that's how, that's kind of the consciousness or how it works. Everything is based on the one. Ichiman, Juman, and then this one, Gojuman. So you have $100, kind of in the consciousness, how we operate in Japan, how we're thinking when we're talking about money. Okay, and when you're in to Japanese real estate, we're talking about money. Okay, and then you have Ichiman, Juman, Gojuman, and then when you start getting into, well, like when things are like 10,000, okay, that turns into two of these, which is Japanese hyakuman. Hyaku is 100, so become hyakuman. But this is really the basis. It's not just a value, okay? It's also culture, okay? It's also culture. So, like, that's for example, my brother-in-law who lives in Tokamachi. He's a truck driver. He's a truck driver, and he's a truck driver, and he drives for not Japan Post, but he drives for a company that has a contract with Japan Post. And then, so every month, I think his curio or his salary is Rokuju month. So he would make, which is 6,000, like essentially in the consciousness of it, $6,000, which is this one and this one every month together. That's his salary. Now he has other deductions like taxes and what have you, but every month, okay, because his house is paid off, because he lives in an old house that his family, very old house. I'll be staying there. Uh, it's a family house that we have in Niigata. He would make this. His deductions would come off. So I'm guessing. I don't know. I don't look into his wallet, but I'm guessing he can save 40 man every month or 40 man every month. Okay. So, that's just one little example of my brother in law. Okay. And I'll see him. Maybe we'll do, if I have a chance, maybe we could do an interview. Other things that you could look at just with this kind of small amount of this is nothing. This is just, it's the same anywhere else. This is not much money. Okay. Okay. If we come over here, okay, because you know that I sell cars. Okay. So so when we're looking at this here, this is a 20, is it, what year Delica? Is it 2011 Delica? I try to pick, this is actually a pretty good deal. This is a 2011 Delica, okay, with 83,000. See how mon here is even used in the kilometers? Okay. Mon essentially means 4 zeros. Okay, almost on it. Okay. It's a good way of understanding it. Like, but this is 63.5 mon N, and that's the kanji mon right there, right there. And that's N. That's the mark for N. So this is basically this one and this one. It's basically everything here on the table. Okay, is going to buy me this car. Okay, so 63. Oh wait, that here is like 49 point, like this basically 49.8 mon gets me the car. But there's other service fees and everything like you hear that the dealership is doing. So they probably call it their paper fee. Okay. And this is Sokaku. This is the full price. Okay. And that's basically on this. And I could go here to this dealership and get this Delica. This is actually not a bad deal. It's actually not a bad deal. Considering, yeah, this is interesting. This came up, but I think it's probably two-wheel drive. That's why I think it's two-wheel drive, because of the 2000 cc, and it was that's why it's a good deal. If it was a four-wheel drive, it would be a smashing deal. But this would never happen with a four-wheel drive. I think it's a two-wheel drive. Anyway, I'll come back to the money. That's kind of, so the basis of it here is this 6,000 mon right here. Okay, is this two-wheel drive black Delica? Okay, or okay, it's my brother-in-law's salary as a truck driver in Japan, and he goes from, for example, he'll just have to pick up stuff, and he's a truck driver. So that would be kind of the salary. And where, for example, where he lives in Niigata, his girlfriend. He's about 45 years old, and then he's got about maybe a 40-year-old girlfriend. And in his town, he's quite a catch in his small town, because this is a pretty good salary in a small town, because most of the stuff, the houses there are very cheap and stuff like that, and a lot of them are owned by their families and stuff like that, and it's unfinancialized. Anyhow, that's just a little. I hope that helps you with the sense of month. So when I'm talking about month, okay, this is the month, and that's ichi month right there. And anything like this sen yen, or this is 1,000 yen, this is just change. This is nothing. This is stuff for everyday life. Okay, now I want to come back here to the Google pictures. Okay, and the last thing to say about the consciousness, when you're getting into 1,000 month, okay, well, this is basically when I stick these together, when I put the American dollar and the Japanese together, okay, uh, maybe on this table right here, right now, I think I have about maybe 13,000 on me right now, 13 grand right there. Okay, so that is 130 man. Okay, so when you see this one, this is $100,000 in the Japanese sense of the word. Okay, and then when you see 1,000 mon, okay, that is 100. It's the same as the consciousness for American people or Canadian people. That's the same as 100 G's, 100 grand. Okay, you see all this stuff saying Isen mon. That's why it's so big. Isen mon is 1,000 mon. Isen mon. Okay, so that's sen, right? Isen. That's sen is 1,000. Okay, this is sen en. Okay, but Isen mon is like 1,000 of these piled up. Piled up. It'd be about to here. Isen mon. That's 1,000 of these. Okay, so what else I think that is basically one. So when we're looking at like 1,000 mon, and then we could come here to an at-home listing that we have right here. Okay, I cracked this one up. We're going to talk about a little bit of real estate in this video today. So we see this price here. You see this price that this says kakaku, which means value. Okay, this is the value, and it says sanzen. Okay, 3,900 mon. Okay, so you can imagine if we had Isen mon, which is 100 grand, 1,000 mon, there'd be a pile up, because this is about what? That's 100. So the pile would be about here. So 4,000, like 4,000 mon is going to be a 10, like a pile here and a pile here and a pile here, and like this keyboard would be full of money with a rectangle, kind of like a rectangle like this. That's the onsen mon. Okay, and that's what that apartment is going for. And that's how you read it. See, mon and like when it comes to Japanese, if I have some like advice for people, don't think kanji is this deep thing. Okay, like a lot of people misinterpret like kanji in the West. I think it's this deep thing. No, it's not. Okay, it's not. It's a communication system. This is just like culturally. This is just like, and you have to really learn the numbers. You have to learn the numbers if you want to get ahead. And if you want to have financial discussions and stuff like that, okay, you need to get ahead. Otherwise, you have to have a guy like me to help you. That's why I'm here. That's why I make these videos. But like, I don't work for free. When I start to work for people, I have consulting fees and stuff like that too. Like, I don't like do this all for free. Like this stuff that I do here on the internet, like I do it for free. But if you want to transact and do a transaction, okay, like I do all this for free if you don't have this knowledge. But if you're going to be in Japan for a long time, it's really important to learn. When you're learning the conversations, you can start with your basic everyday conversation. Do genki desu ka? How are you? But at one point in time, when you want to get ahead, you've got to learn the sort of financial money and stuff like that. Okay. Anyway, that's how it goes. So this apartment here in this is in Minato Ward, and this is again the Shua building. Okay, this is a very nice building. Okay, probably built in the early 1970s. So in order to get this, you need basically the consciousness of it in the Japanese world. Okay, this is 4,000 mon. It's a 38-meter apartment, and you can't even live in it. Okay, this is an owner change unit. So this is probably underpriced by $50,000 because the end user can't get it, can't live in it, because it's an owner change unit, and it says it right there that it's basically rented at 13 mon, 13 mon for every month. And then this is the shunu right there, Nenkan shunu. Okay, that's the yearly revenue on it. And this is Rimawari, which is 4% yield. Okay, and 100. So you'd say this one here, if you can actually see this, everyone, it says 156 mon en. So that would be 150 man. So about two of these every year, two of these every year. So you could just double this little pile, and that would be the yeah, that would be yeah, a little bit. Maybe I'm overestimating. Okay, but yeah, that's what it is. But the basis of it is the mon, which is that ichi man. Okay, now I'm going to tie this in. There's lots of stuff to talk about. I want to teach people a little bit about the money and stuff like this. But again, this is all banknotes from the Bank of Japan. And even in Japan, you might not know it, but gold and precious metals are very big because Japan and Japanese people have had a history of like having to deal with like the basically screwing with the money system. Like this is not the first time this has been happening forever. Okay, so we see the gold price right here. The gold price today is what 3,000. It's probably like 45. That's going to be yonju goman in Japanese for 1 ounce of gold right now. So yeah, but I'm not a big. I don't get. I used to be a gold bug, and thank God because I was a gold bug. I learned about all this stuff at a pretty young age. I was pretty hip to this stuff, even in like the 1990s. I was pretty hip to this stuff, and feeling like this was kind of an all a scam and stuff like that. And it's been really useful. But I kind of think I don't know why. Like for example, the gold price is really going up right now because central banks are buying it and governments are buying it. So I feel like it's also like an elite system. And silver, it's really not doing anything. Like I have a bunch of silver, right, that just sits around. It doesn't really do anything. So I happen to think, okay, it's just my opinion, that real estate is better than this gold thing. But it's, I mean, granted, real estate's more expensive to get involved in. So anyhow, we'll come back here. Well, I wanted to move over here. That's my little comment on gold. I think real estate's way better than gold because it gets yield. But then you could push back on me and say, well, no, you don't own it. It's actually owned by the king. And I believe that. I don't believe, for example, that this is Minato Ward. And by the way, look at all. This is not houses. This is all apartments in the central ward. This is Akasaka right here. This is Toronomon. This is like Roppongi. Look at all the red pill here in Tokyo right now. Okay, this paper is going down in price. Okay, and this valuable real estate right now is going up in price, probably for two reasons. One thing is the Tokyo Bull is running, okay, and uh, the Tokyo Bull is running and the price is going up. And don't get me wrong, and the other thing is this is devaluing at the same time, so that's kind of what's happening. This is going down, and then but also the Tokyo Bull is running is because the investors are pushing in to get into areas like this right here. That's the sort of two reasons, uh, and that's not all over Japan. That is in. We know that the Tokyo market. I've talked about it before. The Tokyo market is an inflationary market, and it's going up. But on the whole, when you look at Japan on the aggregate level, there's lots of pockets of real estate that's deflating. So that's why I say to people, get things in Tokyo. When you get things in Tokyo, we see the prices in Hachioji. We saw them go; they're going up right now because it's connected to the Tokyo economy. So you buy in Tokyo and you use the transportation systems to go other places. Now, okay, the other thing I want to talk about right here is this is really the center of Japanese capitalism. And I believe I saw a statistic the other day, and I don't have it here to refer to it the other day, uh, is that all 10% of all the Japanese sort of Fortune 100 CEOs, they all live in this neighborhood. in this area where I'm moving the mouse right now in central Tokyo. I guess this would be kind of Shibuya right here. This is Toranomon, this is Akasaka, this is Aoyama. So like 10% of them, and that's why there's all these red dots. And then you can think all their sort of executive staff, okay, that work for them, close to them, right? Their sort of lieutenants, right, are going to be living close to here as well. If not here, okay, so we know the center, and as I move this map, you're going to see some other colors slowly sort of appear over here probably. No, it's still seeing lots of red, okay. You're still seeing lots of red. Maybe over here you start to see some other colors. You start to see it finally here in this area over here. You start to see some fade. This site is great at home because we can do all, we could just move this map around and do all this sort of analysis. But we see that the red pill is spreading. As the gold price is going up, as the Ichiman is deflating, the red pills are spreading, and there's going to be a point out here. This is still a sort of very popular word out. There's going to be red out here as well, but it's going to be less. Okay, as we wait for it to come, we're hoping for it to come. There's going to be a little less. See what I mean? There's a little less red here than it's in here. So, okay, that's why I keep talking. I keep bringing this up. Where you really want to get involved, if you're a person that's got some money, you want to get involved in this. This is where this is kind of like this is where the ROI just ends up as just a bigger one, okay? Because it's so if you could pick off something here, these colors like this blue dot doesn't mean this blue dot. All this system means at home. This is like a sort of relative sort of system, right? Okay, uh, but we know that the blue ones are just cheaper. Here's I'll get the map more based on the so this is like Akasaka. Now we looked at those two apartments the other day in the other video, right there, spell the opportunity. And then here, these two units that are one of them we just looked at, that is the blue one there, and the green one. Okay, this is not 100,000. Okay, that one there. Okay, this one was 4,000 mon, 4,000. So we need a whole pile of cash to get it. By the way, I bought apartments before in Japan with cash, and it's like if you brought cash to this transaction, that's if you were a cash purchaser and you brought cash or something like that. If you're like a yakuza guy and you, or so it doesn't have to be a yakuza guy. I guess I've done it more myself. Right? I just had a pile of money because I don't like to keep all my money in the bank all the time, right? So uh, it's still not. It's still maybe now. Probably now it's considered like money laundering, but it used to be just like normal because a lot of Japanese people will have a lot of money like this just in the house, just in the house. It's just normal. Okay. One of the things that's nice about living in a safe society. Okay. Anyhow, this one is going for 4,000 mon, but you can't live in it. Again, you can't take possession of it, and the rights are probably greater here for the renter. Okay, in this sort of case, but this to me is better than the gold price. The only problem is like it might be harder for these kind of units, and that's why they're at a discount because of the rental laws in Japan. It's harder to sort of like you can't really up the rent price on this one. So this one could stay at this sort of price for the next 5 or 6 years, for example. Anyhow, we could look at the other one too. I wanted to look at this one other unit that was right beside it here as well. I thought that that might be a useful thing in our discussion here today. And again, this one as well is an owner change unit. An owner change unit is a Japanese word. It means it's currently rented. This was the one here, okay, that was 30 meters. Everything what we're searching for is over 30 meters. I don't get, when you're getting below 30 meters, people have to make cash purchases. And this one too is owner change unit. So now coming back to our money discussions, this one is cheaper than the other one. This is 2,000 mon. Okay, so if you can imagine, this is a pile, okay, of 265, 200 and so 1, 2, and then 65. So it's a big pile of like 1,000 there, 1,000 here, and then 600 here, and then you can buy this apartment. Okay, if you went to and they would just grab the counter and they'd count it in front of you, and the transaction would happen. Okay, so this apartment here in this building here in Akasaka, right? So we know all the red pills are there, but this one's rented, right? Yeah, this is cool. It looks like my building, National Court. Remember my building, National Court, I told you about? I've been talking about. It's totally destroyed now. Now this one here, see, this one is 5.62%. Okay. But the unit is not as nice, but it's yielding. So this is about 1,300 a month as well too. Okay, but yeah, you can't live in it. So but it's an interesting. It's interesting. Let's look at the. We can come down here and just the location is phenomenal. Phenomenal. Okay, there's red pill all around it, but the only reason it's this cheap is because an end user can't get it. So I keep talking about it in this channel. Why isn't these units selling? It's because end users can't. There it is, right there. There's the building. Looks pretty nice, and they redid the tile. Sort of, they did a nice job at redoing the tiles right there, and it has some retail here on the first floor. So I've talked about it a lot. So we're talking about lots of money here stuff today in this. So this apartment we know is going to cost 2,650 month. Nissan Ropyak Goju month. Okay, so a pile of about here, pile of 1,000, pile of 1,000, pile of 650. Okay, and that's the consciousness of the money. Okay, now why? Let's move the discussion here now to, okay, we know this. The reason you're watching this channel, okay, is because you think this, you're aware that this system, call it this one with the US dollar, is a scam as well. And that's why we're scrambling, because I could just keep, if it was a fair system, I could just keep this money and produce for myself. That'd be good too. But we all know it's a scam. That's why you're here. That's why you're looking at like sort of investment options here in Japan. Okay, let's open this. Let's open this tab up here, right here, which is a discussion about financing this apartment. And this is now over 30 meters. So a young person, okay, could get a loan for this one. We'll move the tab over to the financial one. Okay, so here we go. Every month, the young person, okay, who buys this apartment, okay, right now, if they were to buy it, if this was a end user situation, which it's not, which we could actually go through that that sort of simulation here right now. Okay, but if this was an end user uh, uh, sort of situation, what they need every month when we're reading this, right? So here's the loan. The loan would be for 260 or 2,000, sorry, 2,650 mon. And see the mon? It's not deep. Okay, these are characters. They're communication systems. Don't think they're deep. Okay, let's move this one down here. I'm gonna. Sorry, this video might be long today because we're talking about so many different things. I'm gonna move this down to 0.94%, and I'm gonna tell you why after. Okay, and I'm gonna imagine that this young person in your situation, okay, that this person is gonna have 400 mon. They have 200 mon. Okay, this is what this is going to be. This is pretty well near 200 here anyway. So then 200 and then 200 is going to be 400. So get some more from your parents, okay? Your dad or your mom are going to help you out with one. And then they have a down payment of 400 a month, okay? And then their monthly payment, including the maintenance fees for the building and the interest drag, okay, is 9. Oh, look, this is exactly what your question was. 9.7 month. Q mon non-ascend n. So 9, basically 9, like this one, basically this 10, just like this is basically your mortgage every month. 10 of these. Okay, so my truck driver brother-in-law could actually buy this apartment in Akasaka, still be a driver, and he could own a place in Akasaka. So yeah, this is such an interesting discussion. Okay, now if this though, but yeah, this is for an end user. Okay, now I thought that we could move the discussion a little bit, okay, to interest rates. And you're like, Tokyo Real Estate Man, why did you pull that? Why did you pull this number out of your ass? What is this? Okay, what is this 0.94? Okay, here is basically, it's considered like, in some ways, like a subprime loan. This says flat 35. Now, in Japan, you can get a 35 flat. Okay, this is a government-backed loan. I have one of these. Uh, uh, my loan, it's kind of a scam too, because my loan is through Risona Bank, and Resona Bank loans the money, and then and they get the interest, but the government sort of signs off on that. So it's just a power game. It's just a power game. So it's just like it's considered subprime in that the owner, the government just signing is in the back here signing it, and it's called a 35 flat. And my loan, right? My loan is at 1.1% for 35 years. Okay, it's just power. I love it. Okay, but who does the 35 flat go for? This girl right here. What is she, a flight attendant or something like? Or is this the girl that's like in the 35 flat sort of advertisement? I don't know. Okay, but here we go. Like often here the pictures explain this. Okay, a young family like this. Okay, 40 years old, 30, 36 years old, two kids. Okay, they're the ones who go for the 35 flat. And then there's also the 20 flat. Okay, which is for older people, because older people in Japan often find a lot of sort of it's not called what's it called, prejudice or something like that for the rental market. The rental market, people don't like to rent to older people, so sometimes older people get what's known as a flat 20. Okay, anyway, you can see who it's for just in the pictures here of who the loan is. Okay, is there no more pictures here on the bottom? But anyway, the key to this one right here, the 35 flat, it's gone up right now. For the first 7 years of the loan right now, where did I put it? I have to come all the way here to the top again. For the first, oh, this is the, here we go. I'm sorry, I was explaining it all. I moved it down looking for some pictures, okay? But for the 35 flat, for the first 5 years of the loan right now is at 0.94. Okay, so it's a little forgiving on the highest sort of percent, like the hardest part of the loan. And then after year 6, the loan resumes at 1.94%. So that's already point. So I've already signed in the loan that I signed in for at 1.1%. I got it saved me I guess 1 interest point, or I guess that's 100 basis points in banker talk. Okay, and then under here you have the flat 20. Okay, and the flat 20 right now for the first 5 years. So if you want a 20-year mortgage and you don't want a 35-year mortgage, you want a 21. Okay, you could get the flat, what's known as the flat 20, and then the first 5 years of the loan. See this one, Golden Con. This one's the Tosho. This is to means like, this is like bam, like that. It's like a tosho. Like it's tough to explain this word tosho. It's a really difficult word to translate. But like show is the first. So the initial. This is like the initial 5 years. Okay, that rate there is 0.55%. That's half of 1%. And then here after year 5, this is called Rokunen Me Iko. After year 6, the loan then takes over at 1.55%. Okay, which is why when I calculated here that I chose this 0.94%. Okay, that's a pretty good deal. However, some people in the Japanese market can get better deals. So that the people, for example, who have the best sort of employment in Japan, the people that can get these sort of red stuff or this orange and this yellow stuff, not necessarily in this area, not necessarily, I'm not saying necessarily in this area, okay, but the people who have the most, let's say who's going to live here, okay, maybe the district attorneys live here. There's lots of district attorneys. Maybe the people who work for the seat of the government is here. Maybe like the high level Japanese sort of people who work for the government. What's a komuin in English? It's called a civil servant. Okay, all those people, that a lot of could be living in here, right? And they don't want the 35 flat. They don't want it. They want something cheaper because they know that the Japanese variable rate, okay, right now is what? It's under 0.55%. And in order for them to go up, the Japanese bank is going to have to like up the rates like maybe 6 or 7 times. So the people that do get the variable rate are smart in a way. Okay, now this is the web page of Mizuho Bank. Okay, this is like Zaibatsu. This is like getting into like Darth Vader land here. Okay, the emperor, and that's the people who own these kind of banks. Anyhow, this is on their Jutaku loan page, and this is exactly who they're targeting. Okay, shinki o moshikomi. Okay, or moshikomi bodo login. Okay, but these are who the target for this guy. this young salary man. Okay, this like I'm old now. This guy's what, 27, 28 years old. He just got married. They had their kid. Now they're going to buy real estate. Okay. Now this is Jutakuron right there. Jutaku. That means house. Jutaku. Okay. And then Kinri plan. Okay. Where is it? Where are we going to get down? We're getting down here into the rates. Okay. Here we go. This is where we go. This is the Japanese variable rate from the top from Mizuho Bank. Okay. Right now is at 0.37%. So then we can come back here. So the people who have the best jobs in Japan right now, okay, da, 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 da. Okay, I'm not even sure I can get the mouse on there. Okay, yeah, good enough. Get me anywhere in there is good enough. Okay, I actually got it. Okay, so the person who buys this unit, that one unit that we looked at, this one right here, nothing special, but it's in the most popular or the most highly valued area. Okay, the highly valued area of Tokyo in Minato Ward. Okay, uh, they can live there with a $40,000 payment for 8 months. So I can even take two of these off. Take two of these off, and there's like 8 months now every month. Okay, now what else is being shown here? Okay, the management fees and everything on the building here are 2.3 mon. Niman Sanzainen. Sometimes you see me when I make these videos, I struggle sometimes with the numbers because I'm bringing them from Japanese over to English. Okay, now the kinri. Okay, the kinri is unbelievable. That's the interest. The interest portion on this situation monthly, okay, is four of these. I only have two right here right now. So it's four of these. That's point, you wouldn't even say month. That's yon sen. That's four of these. Okay, 4,000 yen. Can you believe that? Every day you can live in that apartment for, what is that every day? For, oh God, I can't even calculate it in my head right now. Like 150 yen a day. 150 yen a day. Unbelievable. Now, the savings portion of your loan, okay, which is this number right here, 5.4 mon is 1, 2, or the equity. They say in Canada equity, or in American they say equity. Okay, so it's still a viable savings vehicle for people to want to buy a place in central Tokyo. This 5 mon, okay, that's your equity every month. So it's still, in Japan, this real estate makes sense for end users. It really does. Now, the other catch I could say in Japan, if you want to get what's known as, I don't really have many more because I've been sort of deleveraging over the last 10 years. Uh, but I think I've had about uh, six or seven or maybe even eight like investment loans, but I don't have any anymore because I've been paying them off. Now, if you want an investment loan in Japan, you need about this. Let's say right now about 4 point. Oh yeah, it's right. It's the very edge. Let's say it's 4.55 right now. Okay, so if you bought this one, and you would need what's known as a Fudosan Tampo loan, and Tampo is security. You would need to then, and this is probably not enough money to. No, that would be enough. You could put down 400 mon, okay. But I would, for example, this apartment right here, which is a 2-bedroom in Shibuya, 2-bedroom, 55-meter apartment in Shibuya, okay. I would have to put that up as chattel, which is tampo, to like, so it's like a almost like just a almost like a chip. I was almost like a chip. Put a chip behind it saying, if I don't pay, you get this apartment. Okay, that sort of tampo loan. Okay, you need then every month 13 month, juice on month. Okay. So that kind of looks at everything. I guess, like if anyone's still watching this video, I'll be amazed. But I'm trying in this video. I hope it would effectively tries to explain the sort of financial system, the scam in the financial system. Lots of people have this. If we know, okay, that this is financial system is a scam, there's lots of people that know this as well, right? And they have good jobs, or they just want a place. They see that they see the listings everywhere you walk down the street right now in Tokyo. They see the red pill. They see these red pills, okay, and they want to be, or they can't. Maybe they can't even go in that area. but they like living in Tokyo, right? And they want to secure themselves like a place to live in Tokyo. That's why these sort of areas out here, like even that area in Jiyogaoka, I did a video. It's not released yet. I did a video in Jiyogaoka, which is here in this area. There was just nothing cheap for anyone. So, uh, but people now are feeling pressure to sort of even pick up all these units and these. The red pills are just everywhere right now because the Tokyo Bull is running. So it's interesting for the conversation that we have here. The Tokyo Bull is running. The money is deflating. The aggregate trend of Japan as a whole, right, is population going down in the background. Okay, and people are just trying to position themselves. And maybe you love Japan, or you just there's the other thing, the over financialized system in the West, the drugs on the street in the West. You think the drugs are there for? You think all this legalization was done for the reason that we were originally for legalization, okay, was so that people wouldn't go to jail for 20 years for having a joint. However, uh, it's certain like the legalization or the decriminal, like we kind of wanted decriminalization, right? And then all these and I'm sorry to bring this into this discussion here, but then all these super drugs, super powerful drugs got uh, sort of legalized, and now we have this sort of drugs, this sort of marijuana that's on our streets right now that is pretty damn dangerous. And that's not here, and that's another reason why you might want to get involved. It's nothing of it here. I live in both places. I see this, I see it like no one else can. I'm a very rare case right now because I can be in both. Fortunately, I'm in a financial position that I can be in both places. Anyway, uh, such an interesting discussion, even for me. I can't believe I could talk about it with myself and my brain for perhaps a half an hour. Anyway, thank you for taking the time to watch this channel. Hope you learn a little bit about the Japanese money system and the basis of the system. I'm using the real stuff so that you can understand it. Okay, you can come here to my Instagram. Uh, you can DM me there if you like. I'm trying to make this was an interesting post. I released it as well on the YouTube. Yeah, always you could subscribe to the channel, like the channel if you want. If you're interested, you can also come here to my website, Tokyo Real Estate Man. This contact box is working, but you can just give me a straight email as well if you'd like. If you're interested in purchasing real estate here in Japan or Tokyo, do it the smart way. You know, I've talked about it enough. Anyway, thank you for taking the time to watch another video here from the Tokyo Real Estate Man. いつもこのチャンネル見ている皆様、ありがとうございます。この動画でもう終わりです。以上、お金も終わり。この動画。